can help you to be able to address the packaging issues. But also most important is to appreciate what it takes to get your product to your shelf or to your house. If we didn't have packaging, it would be necessary for us to keep cows in the city here so that we can milk cows. Everybody would have to keep a cow. Can you imagine what mess it will be? But thanks due to packaging, milk can be made in Eldoret there, and it can find its way to your place. You don't have to keep a cow here in the city. So, and it would not make sense to do that, plus many other applications. So for the visitor, there is that appreciation. There's looking for opportunities. We want to, as a country, you know, we want to industrialize. And that is how when we shall create jobs. And packaging is at the tail end of industrialization. The proof that you have industrialized is that you have packed. And people to appreciate that packaging adds value. And I think in the institute we say it multiplies value. Because look at the packaging actually multiplies value. And you see, we have been talking about value addition for too long. Even when you are in school, after you do adding, you have to move to multiplication. You cannot be adding forever.
You have to multiply.
So we need now, where we are, the challenges of needing to industrialize, the challenges of creating more opportunities for the youth especially, the challenges of food waste and loss, are urgent. So we need to impress packaging to minimize this, to address these issues. And I think one of the problems or the issues we have had is packaging has not been taken seriously in this country and in Africa in general.
Talking about packaging not being taken seriously, I'd want to know, as you know, one of the stakeholders in the packaging industry, what are just some of the challenges that you encounter in terms of packaging? And then even as he talks about sustainable packaging, does it, from the way I've understood it, does it mean as well less use of natural resources?
Yeah, well, I think the challenges of, there has not been a good regulatory framework, but it is coming. Excuse me. And we have been engaging government, and the government will be there. There has been some support in different frameworks, but still the investments have not gone in the way they should. Although people have been, the industry has been evolving on its own by entrepreneurs just starting their plastics sector or glass sector or paper sector. They have been going on at their own initiative, but the regulatory framework has been developing to catch up. But one of the biggest challenges is lack of skills and capability in the country or in the continent, and lack of appreciation. But now it is coming up, and we are starting to see some good progress. Yeah.
Now, talking about sustainability and you know, sustainable development goals, where does packaging fit in?
Well, packaging is very critical in sustainability on the overall.
Sustainable development goals, where does packaging fit in?
Well, packaging is very critical in sustainability on the overall. Because if you look at SDG, we talk of SDG by 2030, you know, we should have a sustainable society. But packaging plays a critical role first in consumption and production by making sure that we use minimal resources, because that is what sustainability is all about. We recycle more, we recover more. Now, on the overall SDG, one of the goals is responsible consumption and production. I think that is one of those those numbers, I don't know, number 12. So in that area, when it comes to packaging like plastics, we are trying to use less. If a plastic bottle was weighing 30 grams, there's been a lot of efforts to reduce it to 20 grams or 15 grams, and it will do the same job, okay? When it comes to glass, glass has been going down, being lightweighted. When it comes to laminates or papers, they have all been being reduced in terms of grammage. So that is part of sustainability. And we have a lot of programs of recycling. We have programs like Plastic Pact, which will be there. So we have been having a lot of recycling and recovery. Now, on the, excuse me, on the other sustainable goals of, let's say, reduce hunger, eliminate hunger, packaging does a lot of food, it prevents food wastage and loss.
Maybe before we talk about, the issue of hunger and reducing all that, we'd go on a short commercial break before we come back.
Okay.
But you've talked about the importance and why the viewer needs to come to that particular expo. There you go. There's technology. You need to be there to get to understand what involves or what goes around in the packaging industry, and of course talking about sustainable development goals. Don't go away, because we'll be coming back with Mr. Nyongesa just to give you more views. What are the standards of packaging in the country, and where do we sit in terms of comparing the standards of packaging in this country, and of course with our international peers. Don't go away. We'll be back in a moment.